I'm not Betty, I'm Fifi, but I'm looking forward to this conversation. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for agreeing to do this. I would like to thank you for allowing me to have our first ever fireside chat with you. So the first question is a difficult one, and it may be a loaded one, but it's really a question that I think that's foremost in all of our brains, which is, how did we get here?
Well, thank you very much. Thank you, Fifi, and thank you, everyone. Johnny, thank you for organizing. I need to recognize Johannes and all the faces of our advocacy in Tigray, Fifi, Danai, Azeb, all of you. Many of you, actually, we're proud of you. If Tigray has succeeded, if Tigray's diplomacy has succeeded in the last 3 years, it is because of you. It's because of all the people in diaspora. So thank you very much. People of Tigray are really, really proud of this. So to get back to the question, how do we get here? In the interest of time, let me mention 2 things. I think broadly we can say the reasons were internal and external. I think the most important one is internal issue. But before I touch upon the internal one, let me highlight a few points on the external. The external one can be again divided into 2. Externally, Ethiopia, and then the neighboring countries, Eritrea and Amhara, and to some extent Somalia as well. So those individuals, I would say in Ethiopia, Abiy Ahmed, a hopeful dictator, he was just like looking to strengthen his power. And Eritrea, Isaias, he has his own resentment because of the 1998 war Eritrean. Eritrea was in the fold, as you remember, because of Ethiopia, and in Ethiopia because of Tigrayans, and in Tigray because of TPLF or the leadership in Tigray. So they had this resentment and grudge. Actually, they just want to eliminate the leadership from Tigray. And the Amhara, for obvious reasons, they had historical, quote-unquote, claim. They claim everywhere, by the way, not only in Tigray, they claim in Benishangul, they claim in Sudan, they claim in Oromia, but they are claiming some parts of Tigray as well. So they think that this was an opportune time to push the people of Tigray, and of course to make Tigray without leadership, I would say, at that point. So those issues, unfortunately, they were combined. They joined hands, and then it was an opportune time for them to launch a war in Tigray. But that wasn't only in the last 3 years. In my opinion, that was something that they were building for the last at least 30 years. Before that, historically, all of you know that historically, Menelik and Israel, Selassie, and so on and so forth, they were having their own discussions. But in the last 3 years, this was like a joining hands. Outside of the near partners, the geopolitical issues were the same conducive, I think, for the war to be launched as well. In the United States, there was a Trump administration. They had their own grudge again because of the expansion of China, not only in Ethiopia, but in many African countries. And they thought that Ethiopia was at the center of gravity in terms of China's expansion, especially in sub-Saharan Africa. So I think they had to do something in that case. Europeans, even if they were timid, they had the same kind of sentiment. So, when the war was coming, they were not, I would say, critic enough to avert this war. They contributed for that. So externally, we can mention those, but internally, and I think, in my opinion, the most important reason is in Tigray. I think in Tigray, starting from the leadership, starting from the absence of good governance, in my opinion, EPRDF was dismantled because of absence of good governance.